ושרים ראשיהם, ופסו פתחי עולם, והוא מלך הכבוד. מי הוא זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני צבאות הוא מלך הכבוד, סלה. יסגדל ויסגדש שמי רבה, וילמד דברך ורסי, וימליך מלכוסי, בחי יכון ובמיכון ובחי דכל בית ישראל, בתחילה בזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מרח לעולם עולם היה. יתברך וישתבח יתבע ויתרומם ויתנשא, וסעדה וסלה וסלל שמי וקדושה ברכו. לעילם מכל בחרתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמריam בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. ועושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Yashar Korach. Good morning, everyone. Shavua Tov. Still looking at Mishnah 10 in the first chapter of the Ethics of the Fathers. These are the teachings of Shmaya, who taught us three things: to love work, to hate holding positions, domineering positions, which he calls the Rabbanut, and the third statement he makes is do not become intimate with the ruling power. V'al titvada l'rashut. This opens itself to numerous meanings, but to put it in its historical context and in a context which would apply many times over the centuries, Shmaya lived at a time of Roman domination. They were quite happy to have a Jewish leadership, provided that the Jewish leadership followed their rules. So they put in place rabbinic leaders, official Jewish leaders, would represent the Jewish community to the government and vice versa. And the authentic Jewish leaders refused to become puppets of tyrannical rulers. And so they declined the offer. Opportunistic people instead took the position, caused enormous amount of harm to the Jewish people as well. And so it is in this regard that Shmaya says, don't align yourself with that. Don't seek those kinds of positions. They're not going to do you any good, and they're not going to do the Jewish people any good. Don't become too close to the reshut, to the ruling power. The second implication over here is a question of whether one should become close to politicians and to members of the government, to royalty, etc. And Shmaya says, just be really careful when you seek to become involved with those people, thinking that you can curry their favor, etc. Just remember that they don't have your interests at heart. Governments operate on the basis of self-interest. They may want to be friendly with you, and you get very flattered when you are engaged with them and invited by them, etc. But just be very careful and know exactly where the boundaries are, because at the end of the day, they're not going to be your bosom pals, etc. If it comes to the crunch, they're obligated to take care of their matters first as a priority before they care for you. And so Shmaya offers us a certain kind of warning over here, and it's a timely one because throughout all the ages we do try to kind of cozy up to and chamfa and invite government ministers, etc., to our dinners. And the bigger, the more important the minister is, the number of more people who will attend the dinner, etc. And we like to become associated with high-ranking people. That's fine. There's a game of politics to be played. There's a role for that. But he says, just be careful and don't let it go to your head. And don't imagine that all of a sudden you're going to be able to make huge changes in the system because they like you so much, and they're so impressed with you. Rabbi Chanani Melekasha me Ratz HaKadosh Baruch Hu L'Zak Yisrael Lefichach Hira B'Lem Torah Mitzvah Shnei Tzidkoi Yad V'Yoter V'Yadir.
Just a PDF.
Yisgadal v'Yisgadash Shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalmad divrach Yerusei v'yamlich malchusei v'chai echon v'mechon v'chai dechol Beit Yisrael v'galav izman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Merach L'Olam Almei Maya Yitbarach